How you doing? Welcome to another time here, another time on the book club. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making it. It's a time together just to read a book, learn something from it, and just grow, build ourselves up. And we're presently going through a book, as a fifth in a series, Business is Personal by Betty Frankel. That's what we're doing, and we're presently in chapter 1. We've had 2 meetings in chapter 1 already. There's going to be a third thing in the chapter 1, and it's pretty much to finish chapter 1. We've broken it down into 3 parts, all for the sake of not rushing through it and be able to get all that we can get from it, right? We're not doing this as a check the box. We're doing this to learn to grow. Right, that's the only essence we do it. It's not that we've read so many books, right? It's not the number of books, but the much that we're getting from the books and the much of change that is bringing to our lives. That's all that's important. Right, I can study one book for the rest of my life, if only it's changing me. It's making me to the fullness of what I was created to be. Right, that's what's important. Right, we're not here to keep record. We're not in competition with anybody, right? We're here just to go the path that no one has ever gone before, if possible, if that's what we have to do, because all we're trying to do is to live our lives to the fullest, right? Become all that God has created us to be, right? Living our calling, right? Living a life that we like, living a life that we don't need to escape or run from, right? Taking ownership of our life, right? Creating the today and the tomorrow that we want, not the one that we're running away from, right? That's the whole essence of our time together. That's what we last week. We're looking at the last part of chapter 1, and Bethany has there say, make the calls. Pretty initiative concerning your life, concerning your business, concerning whatsoever it is that you have in your hands. Don't wait for life to happen to you, then you begin to react, right? You take the lead, right, concerning your life. And this pretty much ties to Stephen Covey's first habit out of the 7 habits of highly effective people. First habit in that list is be proactive, take charge, take ownership of your life. Unfortunately, people who want to use us, right, teach us not to take charge of our life. They teach us to depend on them. They make us useless. So that's why people commit suicide. Because for as long as people are teaching you to depend on them, you are not building in yourself what we call resilience. You're not building strength in yourself. For as long as the responsibility of your life lies in someone else, there's weakening, right? You have not seen life. You have not faced, right? So a lot of us raise children, raising adults. Parenting is about children, not raising people that always depend on you. They want to do something, they have to call daddy. Oh, yeah. The one guiding their life, because mistake. They are meant to make. If they don't make mistakes, they won't grow. They won't make mistakes. Life is for people that make experimenting. You are not going to grow unless you experiment life. The one that works for you, right? I used to be in a place where everything is about, let's do it right. Oh, we are this, we are that. But they never grew. They never grew because they were too careful about not making mistake. But if you don't grow, you don't have life, you're not going to be happy. Then you start going and start criticizing other people because you are jealous of them, because you see they are growing, you are not growing. You are not growing because you are not doing the right thing. Therefore, you now start becoming critical of the people that are growing. You now say it's because they are doing something wrong. It's because they are doing that. It's because they are doing that. Right? I put out a quote today which said that, strong people are hard on themselves. Weak people are hard on others. When your whole life is about criticizing other people, talking about why they are growing, and rather than you looking inwards to see why is your life the way it is, why is your life no better than it is, you're a small person, right? If you're an adult, then you look at your life. You'll be harder in your life, right? You're not here to look at other people's life. God did not make you a judge of other people. God made you a judge of your own life, of your own self, right? So, we're meant to make mistakes. We're meant to take ownership of our life. It's not your pastor. It's not your mother. It's not your father. It's not your bishop. I know a lot of ministers will preach, oh, because I am your father, you bring the father's offering. So they want to teleguide your life so that you always bring offering. You depend on them. They are not of God, though. Anyone that is doing that is not a shepherd. He's a hireling. He's of the devil. He's not of God. He's not going to heaven himself. So he cannot lead you to heaven. A good pastor, a good bishop will train you to take ownership of your life, will make a leader out of you. A bishop that cannot make a bishop out of you is not a bishop. A pastor that cannot make a pastor out of you is not a pastor, right? Because the calling is to prepare the saints for the work of the ministry, not to keep them under you, right? Same thing with life. If you are not raised to be independent of the person raising you, that person is not raising you well. That person is enslaving you, is using you, right? So life is about taking initiative, taking ownership of whatsoever it is that is in your hands, right? Your own life, starting with your business, your education, everything that concerns you moving forward, you have to take ownership of it. Yes, it is understood when you are young. Yes, you are dependent, but you cannot be dependent all the days of your life, right? Like Jim Collins will tell us, that's the reason why the size of the chair in each class is different. When you are in nursery school, the chairs they use there, they are so small that when you grow older, they cannot fit you. There's a reason why there's a reason why they don't use big chairs in small classes. It's because at some point in time, you outgrow that place. Whether you pass or fail, you are supposed to move, right? You are supposed to know better and grow. That is the same way with life. There are things that life will accommodate at a smaller age, at a smaller time. When that time passes, life will itself be beating you. You will have confusions because there's the expectation upon your life to grow. And if you don't grow, you will be frustrated because the allowance for you to be in that place is over. So sometimes frustration and trouble in life is because you are not doing what you should do. Sometimes we invite it because we are not growing. Because you are not growing life, God himself allows trouble your way to shake you, to trouble you so that you can do something about your life. It is not the devil, it is God. You to grow when you don't choose to grow yourself.